Alright, so before we go any further, this is what you're going to need now. You're going to need these clips, like I said, to hold the headliner into place. Okay, and then you're going to need a hammer like this, regular hammer, and a rubber mallet. You want the rubber mallet, we wrap them in a plastic bag just because we don't want the dirty mallet touching the new material. This is now the time too to clean your hands because you want clean fingers. You don't want to be touching this cloth to get it dirty. If you do get this dirty, you can use some baby wipes to try to dab it out. You don't want to rub it in there. All right. So wrap up your mallet with a clean bag so when we're hitting the headliner, it doesn't dirty it up. So all right. So get your glue. We're going to get the windlace into the grippers now. Here's what we're going to insert into the grippers. If you have the typical style, which is the plastic windlace, here, as you can see here, they have an edge here that clips into these grippers. We don't have that here. We have the old style, which is just kind of like a tube or a sponge rod that goes in there, and we're going to hammer these clips down to hold it in place. And remember, our clips are missing down here. Remember that? But just remember, if you do have all these clips in place, which you most likely do, just make sure when you start putting this windlace in, you're even from top to bottom. You want the bottom of this lace to be, not bunching up down here, not too long down here or too short up top. All right, so what we're going to do is start inserting. Here's your grippers, and you want to just push that in place. Make sure you're even up top here. Okay, and then we're even at the bottom down here. This we're going to kind of have to improvise because of no teeth. So I have to put it there like that, and that looks okay. All right, so what I'm doing here now is you got to push this as best you can all the way in. If you can see here, just push it into the grippers. So you want that rod in there nice. Okay, push that in, and then if you make a mistake, you can pry open the gripper again. So periodically, once you hammer these teeth down, and while you're pushing in, okay, hammer these down. Periodically go back around outside and see how it looks. So it's hammering it down. So I went down far enough for now. I'm going to go around outside now and make sure our lace looks okay. As you can see, it's nice and tight in there. We just got to continue all the way down. Okay, nice. That's the way it's supposed to be. So just continue the rest of the way down, and then we'll look at it when we're all finished. So what I'm doing here is I messed up a little bit when I was pulling I got to insert this rod a little more, so I'm just taking these grippers out a little bit better so I can insert the rod or the lace so there's a more uniform look on the outside. I'll show you. There we go. Okay, so I'll push these in a little more. Need a little more grip. There we go. Better?
Yep.
Okay. I think that looks nice. That's the way it should be.
It's beautiful.
Okay. So, like I said, we're going to have to improvise down here. So we have no teeth. So what I have to do is most likely put some self-tapper screws in here, or like I said, some nails, just to kind of hold it in place. But it'll look just the same. No biggie. So since we didn't have any grippers here, like I said, they were rotted out when we got this car. This car was already painted when we got it. We had to improvise a little bit to hold the lace in. As you can see, we put these nails in here, that are like one-way nails. You won't be able to take them out because they have, you know, grooves on them to hold them in. So just a couple spots we tacked them in, but 90% of you guys out there are going to probably have all the teeth that go all the way down to the bottom, so you just going to want to make sure you do it the same as we did up above here. So, and then what we're going to do is, if you want, you know, as you can see the padding here, we don't have anything covering the grippers. Depending on the material that you have, you might want to put either some more of this felt here over the grippers here, just to kind of hide the rough edge of them, so when you pull the material over, you don't see any bumps or you know, imperfections in the material. Or you could put a piece of masking tape actually over them as well, just to kind of hide the grooves and the slots and whatnot. So, all right, so we're going to glue the door post in now. This is the first thing you're going to want to do when it comes to the headliner itself, or the two sides. So we got our lace in, and we got our padding in. Everything's ready to go. So what we're going to do is we want to glue to the metal surface. You do not glue to the felt padding that we put in. And when we did put in the felt padding, if you notice, I'm a good, you know, 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch away from the window opening here, because this is where you want to glue to the lip here that sticks out, the ridge, the edge, so to speak. That's where it gets glued to. If you glue to the padding, that's when you start to bunch up and you run into a little bit of problem. But we're using the vinyl material here. Some of you might be using vinyl as well. You're going to need your hair dryer, so definitely get that out. And basically we're going to start in the middle here. You don't have to pull so tight either. Some people think they got to really yank on this to get it to look good. You don't have to really yank on it. And also, this is a dry on dry marry here. So basically you want to spray here, let the glue get nice and tacky, almost dry, and we're also going to glue the material itself on this side, so when we marry them together, dry on dry, it sticks well and it really bonds. So we're also going to glue on the outside lip here, the outside part of the window, so when we wrap this around, we get to glue it here. So you're also going to need either your scissors or your razors as well, so we can make some slits. All right, so that was a mouthful. Let's get going. Okay. So basically under the quarter window, I'm starting to glue down towards the bottom. Now I'm going to start going down to the bottom. Like I said, don't worry about racing. It doesn't matter. Not really crucial to get it done so quickly. All right. So we'll also go up here a little bit on the window. See right here, right where the ridge is. And then I also put up a little bit on here, even on the felt padding, so I can get the material kind of stuck up there. So, okay. Okay, now I'm gonna spray the material. Be liberal with it, just go to town on it and get a good coverage. You don't have to glue so close here to the grippers. We're not gluing here. Okay, let's go on the outside of the car and I'll show you where I glue onto the window opening. So you had it on high, and if you can see the H, the M and the L, so of course high, medium, low. I'm going to go to low because we don't want this splattering everywhere on the outside of the car here. So this is where usually a lot of glue gets oversprayed, and this is where you're going to need your WD-40 to start wiping away the old glue. But basically what I'm going to just glue is glue the edge here and put it on low. Okay, so that's good for now. So we'll let that set up, let it dry, and then we'll be able to move the material over. Want to just soften it up. That's basically what we're doing. Want to get the wrinkles out, want it to give it a little stretch. section at a time, that's all. We're going to start in the middle section here, right under the quarter window. Basically, start in the middle. Just pull it. You don't have to pull it so tight. And right there. Okay, there we go. You just start working your way down. You got it, Jack? See that glue set up, so it's sticking okay now, you know? If you start to get any wrinkles, if you got, say, a TMI kit with the vinyl, and you start to get some wrinkles here and it's not looking right, get the hairdryer out again, take your time, let it get soft, and pull it again. We're using Solfine's material here, so the material is actually very nice. Yeah, so before I get down to the bottom here, which is usually could be a troublesome spot, I'm going to work my way up now to the window. This is where you need your razor. As you can see here. Now, of course, you can't pull it around because you need to start making some cuts into the material. What I'm going to do is just start setting it up a little bit here. Okay, see the edge where I glued to in the window? Do not glue back in here. You want it on the edge. Okay, so just feel around where the edge is. See, this is where I'm past the window opening. Just get your razor and cut a slit. Now you can, if you want to cut some more, you can. Now you can fold it over. Okay. See, there you go. Here's another spot. Let's see, glue that. So now I'm over. Now you want to cut away and not cut in. See, I'm in another corner here. I have to slit it again here so we have a nice pull. You want no creases. So just feel where the line is, the edge, right here. And that's where I'm going to cut down. Make sure you got a sharp blade so you're not tugging. Okay. So now you have some more flexibility. You got more tools here, basically more arms of the vinyl where you can pull to get your wrinkles out. Okay. Let's slit another one here. Okay. And the most important, you want it to really glue to the outer edge. It's okay if it's not glued completely in here, because the window seal will actually help pull that in. But as you can see here, we put a little glue, and we're okay. So, and then up top here, I just kind of push it up. It's okay, we're gonna have a tuck. I might cut some of this excess off that we don't need. The headliner is actually gonna have a diagonal tuck from the upper part of the headliner that goes over this, so you're not going to see this part. So, but I'll show you that later. So now I just need a little more glue down here to let this set up a little better. It's okay if you go a little beyond where the material is going to go. That's okay. Just get a little more in the material. Just want this to bond good. Again, dry on dry. Okay. Now, if you're working with cloth, you got to be a little more careful with some of the glue, just because sometimes the glue, if you put too much glue on, it might start seeping through the material, and you don't want that, and that's when it starts to look really kind of nasty. So be careful with the spray glue on the bottom. If you're using the rubber cement in a can and you got to brush it on, be really careful when you do that with cloth. All right. I want this to stretch. This is why I'm softening up the material. Okay, so we got that. This is where your door panel goes here. See this line? So as long as you got a nice uniform look, that door panel is going to cover this part, so it's going to be able to hide things. And the back seat does come down to this point here. You see where the bolt is down here. Okay, the back seat's actually going to come here, so it's going to hide a little bit of this, but just want to put it down anyway to make it look nice. So I'm going to tuck this under. Okay. If you want, you can cut a little slit there just to free it up a little bit. That should be okay. Do it. Okay, so once you're all set up, gluing the post in here, you got this excess here that you got to start cutting off. So basically, once it's all nice and glued, okay, it's nice and sturdy, that's when you just get a fresh blade and just start cutting off the excess. I just don't like clutter, so I'm going to get rid of it for now. Okay, so nice and clean. If you have pop-out windows going in your car, there should be holes already pre-drilled into the body, and this is where you might want to start, you know, puncturing holes through the material so you know where to line up the pop-out window. So this part up here, like I said, all we had to do is just kind of glue it a little bit. You're not going to see this. I just pulled it nice and tight, put the hairdryer on it, pulled it nice and tight. So you get a little, you know, a uniform look here. You're going to have a tuck that basically from the headliner down, that's going to go from here across. So you're really not going to see this from up here. Remember, we still got our two little screws in there for the hook, the coat hook, and the assist strap to eventually go in there. So that's that.